ぶっちゃけ English for Teens.
Welcome to Boot Check English for Teens. I'm Alex Schroer.
And I'm Jasmine Thorne. Let's get started by watching today's skit. Any ideas? What about that new horror movie?
Sorry, you know I can't do blood. There's always the elevator museum.
It's a beautiful day. Let's get some sun. I think I'm melting.
Whose idea was this?
Let's not point fingers. Wait a second, wasn't it Hillary's idea to do something outside?
Don't you see? She's trying to avoid getting blamed for it.
That's pretty sneaky. So that's why she said, let's not point fingers.
Right. To point fingers is to point at someone to blame them. It's usually used in negative sentences.
Hillary's pretty sly then.
Yeah, if they don't blame anyone, they can't blame her.
Well played. We have a number of ways to talk about who to blame for something,
You can use the phrase, play the blame game.
which is also usually used in negative sentences.
Like, there's no point in playing the blame game.
Or you can just simply ask, whose fault is it?
If you want to specifically blame someone, you can say, Jasmine is to blame.
Or you can say it's someone's fault.
Yeah, like, it's Jasmine's fault.
You really want to start this again, huh? I told you before, I didn't break your table fan, okay?
Then who did, huh?
No one is to blame. It was just old. Speaking of pointing fingers, our Dochi no Tetsujin point for today is point.
Right, there are more uses of point than you think. You're probably familiar with someone pointing a finger,
As in, she pointed at a word on the board.
but there's also another use which is very similar, to have something face in a certain direction.
Like the arrow pointed down.
You can also use the verb phrase point out, meaning to bring attention to something.
She pointed out which game she'd like to play.
I'd suggest playing the blame game.
Alex, I swear I didn't break your fan.
Then why were you the last person who used it before it broke?
Bad luck?
Just admit it.
Would you like me to intentionally break your next fan so all this finger pointing would be justified?
Are you threatening? Fine. You didn't break my fan, whatever.
I broke it.
Well, that's all for today.
Be sure to try these phrases out and don't forget to have fun.
See you next week.